Preface and Introduction to the History of Burke and Hare and of the Resurrectionist Times. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit Librivox.org. This recording by Michelle Fry, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in December 2019. The History of Burke and Hare is by George Macgregor. Preface. The history of the Scottish nation has, unfortunately, been stained with many foul crimes, perpetrated either to serve personal ends and private ambition, or under the pretense of effecting the increased welfare of the people. These have given life to a large amount of literature, much of it from the pens of some of the most distinguished legal and antiquarian authors the country has produced, such as Arnaud, Pitcairn, Maclaren, Burton, and others. But of all the criminal events that have occurred in Scotland, few have excited so deep, widespread, and lasting an interest as those which took place during what have been called the Resurrectionist Times, and notably the dreadful series of murders perpetrated in the name of anatomical science by Burke and Hare. The universal interest excited at the time of these occurrences also has called forth a great quantity of fugitive literature, and as no narrative of any considerable size, detailing in a connected and chronological form the events which bulk so largely in the history of the country had yet appeared, the author considered a volume such as the present was required to fill up an important hiatus in the criminal annals of his country. In the preparation of this work, the author has had a double purpose before him. He has sought not only to record faithfully the lives and crimes of Burke and Hare and their two female associates, but also to present a general view of the Resurrectionist movement from its earliest inception until the passing of the Anatomy Act in 1832, when the violation of the sepulchres of the dead for scientific purposes was rendered unnecessary and absolutely inexcusable. He has, in carrying out this object, endeavored to give due prominence to the medical and legal aspects of the whole subject, and to the social effects produced by the movement through the century and a half during which it flourished in Scotland. In order to do this, the author has consulted books, newspapers, and documents of all kinds, and has sought, where that was possible, to supplement his information by oral tradition. But in addition, he has, in the body of the work and in the appendix, brought together stray ballads and illustrative cases and notes which help to give a better and fuller understanding of the historical aspect of the question and of its influence on the minds of the great bulk of the Scottish people. The author has to express his thanks to the many gentlemen who have kindly allowed him access to their rare and valuable collections, from which he derived great assistance in the course of his investigations. Glasgow, May 1884. And now for the introduction. The Resurrectionist movement, its contributing causes and results. There is perhaps no portion of the social history of Scotland which possesses greater interest in a variety of kinds than that which relates to the rise, development, and ultimate downfall of the Resurrectionist movement. To many persons now living, but who are nearing the verge of the unseen world, the interest is in a sense contemporary, for their younger days were spent under the shadow which so long overspread our country. To those of a later generation, the traditions, perhaps the events, are scarcely of sufficiently remote occurrence to call the stories of them traditions, of that dreadful time, served to make their young imaginations vivid, and render them more obedient to behests of their parents and nurses. How many can remember the time when they were frightened into good behavior by the threat that if you did not do what they were told, Burke and Hare would take them away? Or who, passing by a churchyard on a dark night, with the light of the moon casting a gruesome glamour over the tombstones, recalled to mind the tales of the doings of the terrible resurrectionists? How many children, some of them old men and women now, in their play chanted these lines: Burke and Hare fell down the stair with a body in a box, gone to Dr. Knox. Who trembled even during the day when they passed the houses occupied by the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?